morning everyone, and happy Friday. As you can see, I'm up the top of a mountain. I decided to get out of the house early this morning and do a short little hike because I only start work later on in the day, so I figured why not, you know, do something with my morning and bring you along with me. If you didn't see my last video, I kind of explained in it that I moved to Banff for the summer. I'm going to be working here and have been working here already for a little over a month, and I was kind of waiting to get back into a routine and to feel like I was really properly settled before I started filming. But it's been over a month and I still don't feel like I have my routine figured out, or I still don't feel like everything is quite perfect or has fallen into place. But I figured I wouldn't let that stop me. I'm really missing making and posting videos, so I just want to bring you along with me probably today and over the next few days as I keep trying to figure out my routine and just kind of show you what my life has been like out here. I honestly can't believe like it's already been over a month. I feel like the days are slipping away from me, and I also feel like documenting, you know, my days and just the time I spend here is a way for me to take it all in and kind of be able to reminisce and look back on it. So anyways, all of this to say, I figured I would stop waiting for the perfect moment or for everything to fall into place before I started filming, and I would just try to figure out my routine with you guys and just bring you along with me for that, because I feel like it might be helpful, you know, if you're also feeling like you're kind of out of your routine, to just watch me try to figure it out. I don't know. This morning was really perfect. Honestly, I'm really glad I got out and decided to just do something with my morning. It's a little after 9 now, so I'm probably gonna head back and shower, make a matcha, and then figure out what I want to do with the rest of my day before I have to head to work. Guys, you have to look at this view one more time with me. All right, let's head back. So, I figured while I did my skincare, it'd be a good chance for me to kind of catch you guys up on what I've been up to and some fun things I did this week. On Tuesday and Wednesday, me and some of the other girls I live with and work with, we went on like this backcountry hiking trip, and it was a lot of fun. It was my first time going backcountry hiking, which is basically where you hike to like a cabin or a campsite, stay there overnight, and then hike back in the morning or the following day. Some people do it for like full weeks, but I not there yet. But it was so much fun, and it was just a really nice trip, and we were all, I think we were a group of like 9 girls in total, if I'm not wrong. So it was like such a good experience and had such a nice time. We crossed from Alberta to British Columbia to get to the cabin, and when we got there, there's also like a lake nearby, so we went for a swim, and trust me, it was crazy cold because the water is like from glaciers, so basically huge blocks of ice. And trust me when I tell you, I did not stay in the water and swim for a very long time. And I do have, I think, 2 other backcountry hiking trips planned for this summer, so I'll probably try to bring you along for those as well. Anyways, that was on Tuesday, and we spent the night there Tuesday, headed back on Wednesday. And then Wednesday afternoon, when we got back to Banff, we actually went to the farmer's market. There is a farmer's market in town every Wednesday, and it just so happens that my days off land on Wednesday, Thursday, which is the days of the farmer's market here in Banff, and then in the town over in Canmore. So I've definitely been going to the farmer's market like I think every week so far, and honestly I plan on continuing to go. It's just a lot of fun to walk around, see all the booths, and try out, you know, different little snacks here and there. You're also kind of getting a sneak peek of my room, which, as you can see, looks like a prison cell. It's so sad, guys. I have tried to make it homey, but pretty much the only decorations I have are my books up there in my like closet, and then I have this little skincare basket, and that's pretty much the extent of how much I've decorated. The thing is, I don't want to like go out and buy a bunch of decorations if I'm just gonna like head home at the end of the summer and have nothing to do with them. But maybe like, you know, maybe I could head to a thrift store in one of my upcoming videos and like try to find things for cheap just to like make it look a little bit more alive and not just like gray walls and a gray bed. Oh, I got this mirror at the dollar store and it lights up. Yeah, I kind of talked a little bit about like my routine earlier and how I'm still trying to figure it out. And I think what I'm gonna do just now is I'm gonna grab my journal and kind of just write out a list of like my ins and outs and what I want to include in my routine and what I want to prioritize versus what I want to let go of and just push to the side. I have honestly not been journaling half as much as I've been wanting to. I feel like my updates are so sporadic and it's just like once every 2 weeks when I do feel like picking up my journal, I'll actually write out like a few pages, but other than that, it's just been hard for me to like sit down and prioritize journaling, even though I know I feel my best when I journal just because I'm checking in with myself. I'm like updating, you know, what's going on in my life and I get to kind of reflect. But for some reason, it's just been really hard for me to like actually be consistent with it. But that is going to change. We're taking, you know, small steps and we're going to work on that. I am just going to write out a few things and then check back in. I basically journaled by writing out a list of what is in and out of my routine, and I love to make these lists whenever I'm like feeling a little bit stuck because I feel like it's such an easy way to get started with journaling again when I haven't been doing it that consistently. And it's also a really good way to just visualize what it is that I want to focus on in a very clear way. And here you can kind of see an overview of what is on my list. And then after that, I still had a little bit of time before I had to get ready and leave for work, so I decided to try to use that time to be productive and catch up on work. I made a matcha, of course, and then headed over to my room just to reply to some emails and catch up on some editing. I feel like it's been hard for me to find time to actually sit down and work because now I also have a job that's taking up 5 out of 7 days in my week. So sometimes it's hard to find like energy or motivation and to still keep up with, you know, checking on my emails or even editing and keeping up with that consistently. But I'm really glad I got to make some time for it on that morning. And I also had a call with a creator friend. We try to schedule calls every month or so, and it's always super nice and leaves me feeling really inspired and with a bunch of ideas for my channel. So I'm really glad I got to do that. And that was all before I had to leave for work. So overall, it was definitely a great way to spend part of my Friday, and I definitely want to, going forward, spend more of my time and more of my days like this. Hello everyone, happy Thursday. It's currently 4 p.m. I had the day off today, so I went on a little day hike and it was so pretty. I am so glad I chose that hike. I did it on my own, and then basically you hike up to a lake and then afterwards you can continue on to like almost the top of the mountain. And on my way to the lake, some people on their way down told me that there had been a grizzly sighting. So obviously I was like, I don't know if I want to do that alone, you know? So thankfully I like found some other people who wanted to go all the way up, so we just like made a group of 4 together and then went up to like the second lookout, which I'm so glad I ended up doing because it was so pretty and so worth it. But yeah, I'm on my way to do laundry right now, and I brought a book and I also brought some work because doing laundry is just like kind of a lot of just sitting around and waiting, so I figured might as well try to make good use of my time, and that is the plan for the rest of the day. I don't know if me and my roommates are gonna do anything tonight. Last night I went kayaking on the lake, which I should have vlogged. It was so pretty. I don't know why I didn't, but it was my first time using the kayak that I bought. I bought an inflatable kayak for the summer because I figured I'm like I'm like so close to the lake, you know, why not? And it was a lot of fun. So hopefully more kayak adventures to come. Anyways, I'm gonna keep driving and I will see you guys once I get to the laundromat. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday morning. It's actually already 11 because I spent a bit of time this morning just tidying up, meal prepping a little bit for the week, and also slept in a little bit because I was so tired from my hike yesterday. But I am getting ready to head out. I only work once again later on in the day today, so I figured might as well try to get out of the house. That's really like my objective for most days, is just like get outside and do something. Initially, I wanted to book a yoga class, but when I looked on the website, it was full and I had to join the waitlist, which I was like, you know what? I don't really think I'm gonna manage to get a spot at this point, since the class would have been in like 1 hour. But I think it would be really nice to get into a routine and go to yoga every few days, because as much as I love to hike, I also really do want to focus on like becoming more flexible, and I just love a good workout class. But yeah, anyways, that class is full, so I'm not gonna go. But I think what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna head out to a coffee shop and try to catch up on some editing. I always look back whenever I edit, and when I put on moisturizer, I'm like, why do I put it on this way? I don't know, it's just a habit at this point. Editing, I feel like, is the one thing in my routine that I still have to like find time for. I have been pretty consistent, honestly, lately with like journaling and whatnot, but yeah, I just want to make sure I'm making time to edit, and it can be pretty tricky because most of the time when I come home from work, I'm like exhausted, and then I just don't want to edit when I'm here. I don't know, so I feel like getting out of the house, getting to a coffee shop to edit will hopefully motivate me a little bit. Even back home, I like to do this sometimes. I just find that it helps. So that is the game plan. I'm basically just gonna go to a cafe and edit up until I have to leave for work, probably. And it's like a really rainy, gloomy day anyways, so what else am I gonna do? Pretty much ready to go, so I'm gonna pack my stuff and head out now.